Hi, Charles here. Well, it's not quite light just yet, but I want you to see this. Something doesn't look stock here. I'll tell you all about it. Thanks for watching. Well, what's not stock? Well, pretty obvious if you've seen any transits, but we've got normal tail lights and a third light that, as far as I understand, only works with brake lights, and even if you're doing emergency light, I don't think it lights up. But I decided I wanted to have some more running lights up there. If you watch any of my videos about runaway campers, you'll know that I put like 20-inch LED red lights up and down in the corners of my runaway so I could be seen really well. And lately, as we've been driving around and camping, you know, we see other vans and transits especially, we always notice. And one thing I noticed was, you know, we've got the lights here, and I always have my lights on when we're driving, but I just felt like they could be seen better. So I got online and ordered, and iLight did not give me these, but these are like marker lights, but I'm using 4 of them up there as running lights. So whenever we're driving, I will hit switch number 3 on my control panel up front, and that switch used to control my 2 side cameras that were on the front corners, and I decided to take them out. They were very difficult to use because as you're driving and the cameras are pointing back this way, your brain can't keep up. It really isn't that helpful. So I've gotten better at using the bottom part of the mirror. Plus we added the window in the sliding door, so that made a huge difference. And so I took those out, and now when I turn that switch on, it's turning these lights on, and it will eventually, today, it will turn on 3 amber lights just like these that are on each side of the roof rack, and then I've got 1 each going vertically on the mounts where the cameras used to be, and you'll see all of that. But I just thought this was a great idea just to be seen a bit better, especially in rain and snow or fog. Will definitely be seen better. So I'll move you up closer and you can see what I'm talking about. So I just got a narrow piece of treated lumber, and I put waterproofing on it. I actually may end up painting it black so it blends in. And so my wife just routed a channel behind this so the wiring just runs along that, so they're just piggybacked running along that way. And then I've got some wiring there. My son-in-law he and his dad and uncle, they do police cars and ambulances. They call that strobe wire, that gray wire. It's shielded. That's running up to the front, and it's connected to the wire that runs down to the switch box that I'll show you. And that switch normally turned on both cameras, but now it'll be turning on these red lights and then the orange amber marker lights on the sides and on the front. So just a simple little install here, and let me get up, start working on wiring the amber lights. I brought up some of that strobe wire, a wire stripper, got some butt connectors and shrink wrap and tape and a heat gun. And yesterday before it got dark, I went ahead and installed 3 amber lights, marker lights like these, and these are the same things you see on semi-trucks. And so they've got them, I don't know why they didn't make them red and black, but they're black and yellow, so I just pretend the yellow is the red positive. So I'm just going to start down there and wire, and I should be able to fit the wire down inside this side rail of the roof rack. So here on the passenger side you can see the 3 marker lights, and I could have put more, but I don't want it to be too gaudy, but it will definitely be seen. And here you can see one of the marker lights is facing forward, and it's on the mount that was there for the camera. So there's one on the other side as well, and so I'm going to get these all wired up, and then this evening... Well, as I mentioned probably earlier, I'm not doing a wiring tutorial, but what I'm doing is I'm taking what's called the strobe wire, and I'll be stripping it back, and I will connect positive, negative of this to the marker light here at the rear. That'll run up here. It'll connect to these 2 plus continue on where I'll have another section connecting to the next light, and then that will be kind of a junction up there because I've already got the marker light that's pointing front. It's already wired, so it's ready to be spliced in. So this run will splice into that, which will splice into the power line that's going down to the switch. Originally, I had 2 switches for each of the cameras, 3 and 4. Then I decided to add fog lights, so then we moved and took, even though they're powered on 2 separate lines, we combined them to switch 3. So it just made sense to turn on both of the cameras. Well, now I'm getting rid of those cameras. Just, like I said, it really wasn't that helpful to me. So when I hit that switch, it'll turn on this circuit and the other circuit, which includes the red marker lights, which we were driving out to the refuge a while ago, and we were behind a ProMaster that had red marker lights, and I'm pretty sure that was stock. There were 4 lights, kind of like what I have up here. And on ProMasters and Transits, the cab marker lights, typically there's 4. There's like these it's a curved roof, and it's got like these channels, and you'll see, I think it's 4 amber lights. But I just didn't want to go that busy, so that's why I did just the 2. So the other circuit will pick up the front one, the 3 sides, and the red running lights that I'm putting in. So they'll all combine to one place over here. So there'll be a bunch of wires all coming together, wired, and they'll be shrink wrapped and protected with tubing. And then I'll be all set. So I'm going to stop talking and get busy wiring. I've got some people coming to see the van here in a little bit. I think they're thinking about building a van. And by the way, if you live in the Seymour area, sooner than later, I'm planning on doing a class at Jackson County Library here in Seymour. And if that goes well, I'll offer it to Columbus and maybe other libraries around this part of Indiana. So we'll see. I like telling people how we did it, but it's not necessarily how they're going to do it. But at least we'll give them a basis upon which to start. And then I can point them to other really good channels they can watch van building on. Okay, stop talking. Let's get back to work. Well, you just saw some nighttime footage of the van with the new marker lights, cab marker, and the new running lights in the back. I actually haven't filmed it yet. I'm going to do it in a few hours, but I want to go ahead and finish the video right now. The wiring went fine. I make sure as I go down the line that I check with the battery each time as I move along, making sure that they all are wired, and I check them in sequence so that I don't get to the end and I don't know why one of them is not lit up or something's wrong. So I just check them as I go. Use cable ties to pull them up tight, and they, as I've said a couple times, it's now one switch that's controlling 2 power lines that feed to the switch box to that 3rd switch. And so when I hit that, they all come on. And so it's no different than I've seen on some vans, especially with the cab marker lights. But now I've got just a little extra visibility there, and I really like the extra red running lights back there. I could have put a strip light up there, I suppose, and then it would have the right turn, left turn, and all that. But I didn't want that much going on. I just wanted some extra running lights up there. So it's an inexpensive thing to do. I think I mentioned you get a pack of 10 of those lights for like, I think $8 or something. So they're very inexpensive. You just need some wire, and heat shrink is good, and some really good electric tape, and there you go. So a simple project. We survive without it, but I just like a little extra safety. And there you go, and thanks for watching.